Hey YouTube, it's Shaker here, and we're bringing you another one. I'm a digital artist who likes to watch movies with the people. And today, we're going to do a breakdown of Silo Season 2, Episode 5. Yes. So, I ain't going to lie to y'all, I almost forgot. Because last night, I recorded Dune 2 because I had I didn't have extra time, but I was like, this is a perfect time to do it. There's no such thing as extra time as a designer. But it just felt like, I don't feel like really creating anything, and I know I got to do Dune 2 anyway. It was like 8 o'clock. I know it's a 3-hour movie or close to it. I was like, all right, let me just do it. Let me just do it now. Just do it now. And I forgot all about it. Yeah, so it was like late at night, and I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot about Silo. So I watched it last night. I'm giving up on trying to be early. Okay, it's just gonna come out when it come out. If I can get it out early, I get it out early. I gave up on trying to make it early. Okay, I gave up. Okay, yeah. So, okay, because it's been that was my last recording movie wise or movie reaction of the year. So, there's a few more videos I have to record, but that was the last movie of the year that I had to record. So that was like a relief. But here we are with Silo. Okay, before we get into the spoiler. My overall feeling, it's a filler episode, but it was a good one. Because sometimes fillers can be kind of flat. It wasn't flat. It wasn't dry. It was a pretty good, but it was definitely like a filler episode, but it was really good. Okay. Ranking, I'm going to give it an 8.8 out of 10. Really, really good episode. I'm trying to not give everything a really high number because I'm sure there's better episodes, but it was still a pretty good episode overall. Okay. All right, if you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, push that notification button because we're going to keep bringing this stuff to you. All right, cue the music. We are in spoiler territory. Spoiler territory. Okay? I don't even know why you're here if you ain't watched the episode. Let's start there. Okay? Especially on episode 5. Go back, watch my other breakdowns, and then come over here to episode 5. Okay? Like I always say, I recommend you watch the recap because they're always going to show you a little bit of stuff from previous episodes and even previous seasons if they think it's important in this one, just to give you a little bit of a reminder so that you're not super lost. Like, what was that about? It's like, no, because that was in season 1 and then they were coming back to, So definitely watch those recaps. It's always important. So let's get into it. I'm going to try to do this kind of quickly because the last episode was way too long and copyright started to be like, what's going on here? So I got to be a little bit tighter, a little bit quicker. Okay. So we start off, the chase is on. Okay. They after Knox, Shirley, Carla, and Martha. They after him because remember they running. But Carla's like, I need a breather because they old. Carla and Martha is old, but Carla's like, I need a breather. Like, come on now, we got to come up with a plan. So Carla's like, all right, I have an idea. We got to go 2 floors down. I have a way that we can get all the way down to the down deep. Like, I have an idea. So then we cut to Robert Sims and his wife, Camille. And basically, they're having a conversation like, okay, I think he knows. Like, I think Mayor Bernard knows that was us that set up the whole impeach situation with Judge Meadows. Like, we think he knows. And then the mayor comes to come to find out, Mayor already in the house because they having a conversation in the bedroom. The kid is like, Mom, they like, we'll be there. There's a man in our front room. Is Mayor Bernard. So he just welcomed himself in. And guess what he does? He makes Robert the judge. Boom. Start the intro of the show. So we're like, okay, now he's about to be Judge Robert Sims. Okay, here we go. So Carla takes them. We go back to Carla. Carla takes them to this silly man. I don't think we got his name. Maybe we did. I don't care. This silly man for help. And basically, she like, look, we need a place to hide and we need a way down. So we need a place to like chill out for a second. And we also need some system that can get us down without taking the stairs. Like or if we got to take the stairs, we need something. We need something to get there. So he like, well, what you going to do for me? And he's like, I want something of Juliet's. I want something that is from her. Because he's trying to sell it, I guess, in the black market or whatever he's trying to do. Okay? So then we cut back to Juliet and Solo. So we see Juliet trying to connect her old helmet to the new suit because she doesn't have a helmet. Cause she was like, I ain't going back down in that water. So I'm gonna try to use the helmet I got and try to connect it. It's not really working. So then, Solo mentions to her that actually the water is it's rising, like it's still rising up because of whatever happened in the past. Okay, so we're like, he's like, I wonder if there's a way to stop it. I think there is a way. Maybe you could do it. And she like, I can't do it. Like that's not. She like, I don't have the time. Like you have time. He's like, I don't have time. She's like, bro, I have a few days. You have months, maybe even years, before that water rises to where you are. But I have a few days to get out of here and go help my people. Like, and he's like, no, you can do it. And she's like, no, I can't do it. Let me go. I'm leaving to go see if I can find a helmet somewhere else. So she's like, let me go to the suits room and check for a helmet. So we come back to the mayor, and he's talking to the raiders, like, and there's like a main raider guy, I guess, who kind of took Robert's position, kind of, it seems like. And he's like, we got to keep looking for them. They show on the cameras. We got to, like, where they at? Like, where they at? They're like, we looking for them. We think they're over here. We looking, and he's like, the raiders, there are people. We got this. And then he was like, the judicial raiders are not yours. Like, they're not yours. Now, I don't know if he's saying they're mine or he's saying make a separation between you and them because they're not our people. I don't know what he meant by that, but that's what he said. Like, I need you to refrain from saying yours because they're not your people. But he didn't say they're my people. So I have a feeling he's saying it's time that that's them, because he's trying to make this war, and he's already trying to separate the mindset of the people, and that's what I think he's doing. But I'm not quite sure. So then Martha gives that silly man like a not a knife. It looks like a what's the thing that has all the different things in it, as a screwdriver and a knife and whatever it's called. He gives her this silly man. I'm just calling him a silly man because he's a silly man. That knife tool thingy, and says that it was from Juliet. And then before we know it, Knox runs in like, oh, we gotta go. This silly man sends a message down the judicial for money because he's like, they got a bounty on him. I mean, I know I'm trying to help y'all, but I mean, they're worth more than what you helping me with. I don't care about this. I need that money. Just like, they're like, you know what? He set us up. Let's just get on out of here. So they're on the run again. So then we cut back to Sheriff Paul and Deputy Hank. And Knox and Shirley, as we know, did not kill Judge Meadows, but that was the message that he got. So Sheriff Paul's like, I just got a message that, Knox and Shirley just killed the Judge Meadows, and they on the run. And you can see on both of their faces, really, I mean, definitely a Hank face, like, whoa. But even Paul's face is kind of like, this is what I'm hearing, but something don't feel right. Like, you could tell they both don't believe it. So then Carla, we go back to the fort, and Carla's like, look, for real, I'm slowing all of y'all down, especially Knox and Shirley, because they're young. I'm slowing you all down, but I'm really slowing you down. And then really, they're only looking for y'all for real. They're not looking for me or even Martha. They're really looking for you two. So I'm just, y'all need to go. So they, of course they don't want to, but we got to use logic here. So Knox and Shirley's like, okay, we got to go. So they run off. And then Martha's like, I'm staying here. And then Carla's like, you too, because they need you down deep. And you know what? They're right. She's right. They do need you down deep. So Carla was like, y'all all need to go. They need to go into hiding, but you need to just go down deep. Like, you need to leave them and just go. So you need to go down deep, go down to mechanical. Of course, no one wants to leave Carla, but Martha knows, yeah, I do need to, like, they're counting on me. I do need to get down to mechanical. Also, I don't know how much mechanical knows about what's happening up there. So somebody has to get down there quickly to let them know winter's coming, storm is coming, the problem's coming. We need to be prepared. So she says, okay, I get it. And then she goes on. So we cut to Dr. Pete Nichols. Remember, that's Juliet Nichols' father. And we see him helping the people. I guess these are people that have been rioting, and so people are hurt, and both sides, I guess. I don't think this is a up or down. I think this is just people who are hurt and the casualties of what's going on. And he's helping the people. He's talking to the sheriff's wife, the one who has the baby, and she's basically like, look, I can't stay in the house, like, because I'm gonna go crazy with this waiting game. So I just figure I'd come out here and help as well. And he's like, yeah, and I'm out here helping. But then the guards come up and they're like, we need you to come with me. He's like, they're like, you need to come with me. So they take him away. The guards take him away. Dr. Pete Nichols. So then we cut back to Rob and his wife Camille, and they're talking. And basically it kind of ends with, she's like, you just got to make the most of the job. Like, make the most of what you have. Like, you're the judge, make the most of it. That's all you can really, really do. Because of course he's not happy. He wanted to be a shadow. He was a raider. Now he's a judge who, he's not happy about this position. But you know what? Got to do what you got to do, because that's what you got to do. And y'all set yourselves up. It's what it is. Anyway, so we cut back to Dr. Pete, who's meeting with the mayor, Mayor Bernard. So Mayor Bernard gives him, he has Juliet's things, and he's like, of course I can send them away, but they'll just put them in the black market, or they'll just, sell them or burn them or whatever. I just feel like it should come to you. And he's like, and I see you helping the people down there, and I think that's so good, and that'll bring joy and a good message to the people. And basically, like, I see what you're doing, and I see this is good, so why don't you, use that and be a part of that. And he's like, what if I say no? What if I say no? Because he's like, I'm tired of it. So basically, like, he said I wasn't helping those people for the help of for the soul as a silo. I was doing this to get some integrity back. Because remember, he's been for all these years denying people's birth control and all these different things, or vice versa, and people, they seem happy, like, oh, I'm about to have a child, and it's all a lie. He's like, I need to get some integrity back. The oath of being a doctor, I need that back, and that's why I'm out helping, not because of the pact or the silo, the order or whatever it is. I'm doing that for integrity. And basically, and he says, and I'm gonna read it here. He says, for some reason my daughter is dead. You can't control what she means to people. You can't control what she means to me. Like, basically, like, I'm not here to help you. And I know you think I am, but I'm not. I'm going to take these items, yeah, because these are my daughters, but I'm going to continue with my integrity going forward. Because remember, that's why that last episode, he didn't put that birth control back into the lady's body. He removed it as you should, as a good person, even though the orange thing said remove it. So, obviously, the mayor was not happy about that. He didn't say anything, but it was all in his face, like, how dare you? And I think it was less about how dare you, actually. I think it was fear, like, because if he thinks like that, how many other people think like that? We in trouble. We are in trouble. So then we cut back to Juliet and Solo, and Juliet's like, Solo's that's not your real name. He's like, no, it's not Solo, it's Colemeyer. And then she's like, Cole. So basically Cole for short. So, which is already like, okay. He's like, oh, this is where it came from. And then this is, and this is it's a nickname. Solo's a nickname. But you already feel like, But then this is weird. So he brings up Romeo and Juliet. And he's like, oh, because when they die at the end. And Juliet's like, what? They don't die. Now, we all know Romeo and Juliet dies at the end of the movie. Everybody knows that. I've never seen it, but everybody knows that. And she's like, they don't die. And he's like, in our version, they die. But then she starts feeling sick. And she like, I can't even, like, right now, I'm just not because of that, just, I'm starting to feel sick. We'll talk about it later on what actually is happening. But she's starting to feel sick. Like, okay. So then we cut back to Robert. And he's now in his new judge office. And he's not having it. Not connecting. He's like, He is not happy, Bob. Not happy. Do you understand? So yeah, he's definitely like, this ain't for me. We cut back to Carla. Remember, everyone left her. She's by herself. And then they capture her. And we're like, what's about to happen? We'll talk about that later. Okay, or at least what I predict will happen. And then we cut back to Mayor Bernard, who's meeting with Lucas. Remember, Lucas is the one who had to go to the mines. He's meeting with him, and he's like, "Do you know why she sentenced you 5 years?" He's like, "Why?" He's like, "Because the life expectancy is 5 years. Like they only last about 5 years. So basically, you wasn't gonna make it no matter what anyway, right?" Which is what the judge said. I mean, that's what Judge Meadow says. Like, he wasn't gonna make it more than a year. So what's 5 years? You know what I mean? But he's like, but I want you to do this. I want you to reconstruct the hard drive that I destroyed, which was like, I never understood why he did that anyway. Cause like, I guess because maybe the order was probably like destroyed, but he's like, I can't be in the dark anymore. So I need to know what's on this. Plus he wants to really know what was that situation that she was talking about before she died. That's what it really come down to. For real. Okay. So he's like, I know this. He said, I know you know that there's better people out here who can do this, but you'll work harder because you want to live more than 5 years. Now, I don't know if he was saying, I guess he was saying, we going to shorten this time, or we going to get you out, but you got to do this. But he didn't really say that. So I'm like, I'm wondering why he didn't clarify, but I guess that was clear enough. I'm not really sure. So then we cut back to Judge Roberts. That's his name now. Judge Robert Sims. And Judge Sims, he goes to where the Raiders' door is, and he gets stopped at the door. The Raiders is like, basically, like, you don't belong down here. They ain't say it like that. They said it in a respectful way, like, Judge Sims, Your Honor. And he's like, Judge Sims, you know who I am? You know, because, you know, and they like, we ain't letting you down here. So he gets stopped at the door, basically. And so he's not happy because it's like, you are no longer a Raider. You are Judge Sims. Okay. So then we go back to Knox and Shirley. And as they're trying to go down the steps, of course, they get stopped by the mob, get stopped by the rioters. They're not happy. They start getting in the tussling. Guess who pops up? Camille Sims. That's his wife. Robert Sims' wife pops up. She got like a kind of like a Raiders uniform-ish on. And she like, y'all need to chill out. Y'all know who I am. And they like, we know who she is. Let's chill out. And she like, and y'all might not know, but now my husband, that's Judge Sims. And they like, so they calm down. So she's like, all right, I'm gonna take him into custody. I'll take him. So you're like, so then you know, not start getting a little hustly-dustly. And then she whispered, basically, she didn't say it like this, but basically she's like, come with me if you want to live. She's like, come with me if you want to live. She didn't say that, but that's what she said, which is like, hey man, what would Camille know? What Camille doing? Hold on. What's happening here? Okay. So then we cut back to Juliet. Okay. And she's searching for the helmet. She like, I need to find this helmet. Like, I gotta get going. Something ain't right. I'm on a mission. I got to get back to my people. I got to get this helmet. Okay. So when she's in one of the rooms, she finds paperwork. I'm gonna read what the paperwork said. So it says kind of at the top, missing helmet. It says to all staff, whoever borrowed, it put it in quotes, whoever borrowed helmet R352, please return. No questions asked. Okay. Now is the time to rise above the lawlessness, not participate in it. So she's like, all right, now I kind of know where I can go. I know there's a helmet missing somewhere, and let's see who might have took that, right? So that's what we see on the letter there. So then we come back to Camille and Knox and Shirley, and Camille Sims is helping them instead of taking them into custody, like she said she was gonna do. So we like, okay, what's going on here? So she first gives them advice, like, don't go down. I wouldn't take the stairs down, because there's a barricade and you're gonna get stopped at the barricade and then they're gonna catch you. Like, I wouldn't even take the stairs down. She said, now how you gonna get past that? None of my business. Ain't got nothing to do with me. But I'm just letting you know that ain't gonna be the option. I'm just letting you know that right now. So then she drops them off at Asa. I don't know who Asa is. I don't know why he's kind of blackmailed by her because she has a lot of power over him. Like, this is what you're gonna do. I know you was planning on doing something else, but this is what you're doing today. Do it or else, basically. Why? I don't know, but anyway, that's the case with Asa. That's his name. So she leaves them, and Knox was like, "Why are you helping me?" She ain't answer. She just left him out and left. So now we're wondering, why is she helping him? What's going on here? What she know? What she know? That's what we want to know. What she know? Okay. So it actually cuts back, but I'm just going to explain this part because even though it cuts to what I'm about to tell you and it cuts back, it doesn't really change the order much. So I'm just going to tell you what then happens. So then Asa was like, I'm not helping you out of courtesy. I'm not helping you because I want to help you. I'm helping you because I'm afraid of this woman. Flat out, I'm afraid of her, and that's why I'm helping you. Period. So that's it. So later on, because they're just trying to rest up a little bit, hide out for a little bit before they can make a leave. So later on, they're kind of laying. Shirley's in the bed, Knox is on the floor, and Knox is just like, basically the conversation was like, Knox is kind of like, dang, I should have listened to you, like. And then Shirley's like, no, if we would have went my plan, we would have been caught and dead. Like, basically your plan was better because here we are still alive, pushing forward at least. If we would have went because basically he felt like, dang, like I was trying to go the nice route, talk to the judge, trying to go a political kind of way. And then look what we in now. But she like, we would have been dead if we would have went with my rage and craziness, it would have been over. And that's true. So it was good that they finally had some like understanding, and they're really on the same page now. Like in the beginning they weren't, they began to, and they're like, okay, they are a unit, and that's what you need to win, is to finally be a unit. So that was a great conversation, a really important one. I'm glad they showed that. Okay. So then we cut back to Sheriff Paul and Deputy Hank talking about a unit that's starting to come together. We'll see their turning point a little bit later on. But Sheriff Paul shares with Hank, yeah, I got the syndrome. Like, we ain't all about the books really no more. Like, we kind of falling out of the books, and for real, I got the syndrome. So then he asks Hank, like, do you think they did it? Like, he know in his heart, but he like, you think they did it? And Hank is like, absolutely not. That is not something they would have done. Just flat out. Something that's just, they did not do that. I don't know what's going on, but they didn't do that. They may did a lot of stuff, and they might be this type of people, but the one thing they would not do is that. Like, that's not what they did, I can assure you. And Sheriff Paul knows, like, deep down, he knows something's obviously off. Like, they're starting to connect, like, something's off, and we got to get to the bottom of it on our own over here. So then they turn, because they're kind of in the cafeteria, and they see a woman, her name's Frances, who is the niece to Patrick. And I didn't know who Patrick was until later, but I'm just going to share it now because it's not a big deal. But Patrick is actually the one who was like, I want you to erase my memories, and he was the one who threw the firebomb, and then because of that, Cooper died. So that's Patrick. We find out really for real who that is later on, but that's who it is. But they're talking to the niece Frances, who trying to sneak out some food, and they like, what are you doing that food? She like, is it a law to have a little extra food? They like, we know you taking that food to your uncle, and she like, and then he's like, let us take it to him, and that's when. At that moment, you don't realize, but she realized, wait a minute. Oh, they trying to help because they should have approached this differently, but they're approaching it in this way. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, they trying to help. I see. Like, that was all in the eyes, but that's what that, and we find out later, that's exactly what that was. So we cut back to Camille and Robert, and they're in bed, and Camille basically was just like, if it was up to you, you would have been caught him. If it was up to you, you would have caught him hours ago. They would have been in custody hours ago. Which, that might be true. That might be true. But as she's saying that, there's a distance in her eyes, a separation in her eyes, because we all know what she just did. That means she knows something. She knows something's not right, and she knows what's about to come. She could see it all in her eyes, even as she was saying that line. Even though that line was true, you could see that she down for her husband, she down for the cause, but she's for real, I think she's also down for the truth. Because remember, that situation that happened with her and Juliet in season 1, I need to read back up on it myself because it was a while, but I just remember that Juliet needed some answers and handcuffed her, and you can tell that she was being real tough, but that she had more power than we really realized. And I think we found out in this season for sure. Okay? So then we cut to the mayor who's speaking to one of the raiders, and he realizes Camille knows, or Camille's involved in some way. Like in some way she was involved, and now we got a bigger problem. I think that's going to come out in the next episode. We're going to find out. So then we cut back to Juliet, and she finds the suit rooms names in the, like, she finds a paper of different names of who would have a suit, like where the suit rooms are. So she finds that list, which is perfect because she's like, all right, I know where I can possibly check to get that. But then she finds this picture, and this picture says Solo and Tiny. Okay, we see Tiny, but that ain't Solo. Who's Solo? That's not our Solo. Who this Solo? Harpo, who this woman is what Juliet was questioning in her mind. So then we cut back to the mayor, and he's speaking to Lucas, and he's like, okay, what have you found so far? So Lucas shows, okay, there's tunnels or like something on the IT department, and there's something on judicial. And then he said, and then at the bottom, all the way in the down deep, I see a tunnel. And we kind of know about the tunnel. The mayor's like, okay, what do you think this is? He's like, I don't know, but I see something here. So he's like, all right, well, you got 24 more hours out the thing. And as he's walking, he's like, actually, I found something else. It's a letter from Salvador Quinn. Remember, we heard about Salvador Quinn. We still don't really understand who he is. He is obviously important because here he is being brought up again with mystery. He's like, something about Salvador Quinn. He said, I found a letter. It's a love letter at first, but then the mayor interjects. He said, it goes into code. He's like, yeah. So I'm gonna need you to figure that out. He ain't say that, but that's what he said. I'm gonna need you to figure out what that code is. So I don't think Lucas is gonna make it, because I think once he figure out what that code is, he gonna die. I don't want him to die because I really want him and Juliet to connect, and I think they might, but I have a feeling Lucas might die after he find out what that decoding situation is. Yikes. Okay. So then we cut back to Sheriff Paul and Deputy Hank. Okay, and they find Patrick Kennedy. Remember, that's the uncle, the one who threw the firebomb, down in the down deep. Remember, they pulled the wall down, and then, well, no, not in the down, just in that hallway of the down deep, that's behind the wall. Because, once you go down that hole, now you're in the down. We ain't there. He right on top of the hole, and he's bleeding out. He's having a situation. And they like, we trying to help you. He like, nah, dog. No, you ain't. Everything's a lie. You ain't trying to help me. So then Hank goes away. I think he goes to get help because he's like, oh, man, this man is bleeding out. Meanwhile, Sheriff Paul stays behind. So he gives him a picture or a piece of paper that was ripped out of a book. He gives that to him, to Patrick. Now, I couldn't see what was on it. It looks like fields and mountains and then some words, but I'm not quite sure if the words in this article is important or just the fact that it's showing the world from a book is important. I couldn't really tell the difference. But point is, he was like, look, I'm showing you this because I know this will jeopardize me. Like, if they knew I had this as the sheriff, I'm done. They sending me out to clean. So the fact that I'm showing you this, basically like, look, I'm trying to show you that I'm on your side. Like, I'm on your side. And this, I'm jeopardizing myself. And then Patrick's like, you know what? Okay, I'll tell you what you need to know, and I'll tell you what you don't want to know. I'm gonna tell you what you want to know, and I'm gonna tell you what you don't want to know. Okay? But I trust you. I got you. Okay? So then we cut back to Knox and Shirley, and they go back. So instead of, because remember after they took a little rest, they was like, all right, it's time to go. But instead of going down, they was like, no. Shirley was like, no, let's go up. I got a plan. They go back to that silly man and demand a slip away. They like, we ain't giving you nothing. And he took the thing, and Knox took the little knife thing back. Like, it ain't even hers. It ain't even hers, you idiot. And we need a way down. So I'm not sure, but they take these little back things that look like trash cans. Something that probably some job does that people aren't really paying attention to. So they kind of slip away from like the guards, but the cameras, they watching, they like, nah, we see you. We see you. We see you. Okay? So they barely slip away, if that makes sense. But they at least get a few stories down before they start getting, people coming after them. So then we cut back to Juliet and Solo. And then Juliet's like, why don't you know Trina Samuels, which is Tiny? Why don't you know who she is? You're not Solo. And then she's like, you're not Solo. You're not the IT shadow. He flips out. Solo starts flipping out. I am Solo. I am the IT shadow. Like a tantrum, a temper tantrum. And Juliet shrinks back like, okay. You're Solo. You're whoever you say you are. Like, just calm down. Like, whatever you say you are, just calm down. But then she starts getting really sick. Like, almost need to lie down. He's like, okay. And then he remember, he's like a child. And then he breaks out. He's like, okay, maybe you need some food. I'm gonna go. You should eat something. And she's like, no, I just need to go lay down. I think that's true, but she also like, I need to go away from this crazy man because this man is cray. So then we cut back to Knox and Shirley, and we see that they're on about a few balconies down, but they still coming. So they got this rope thing that they put on the edge, and they like, we gonna have to jump. He like, you think it's gonna make it? He like, we don't got a choice. She like, we don't got a choice. We just gonna have to jump. He like, the brakes ain't working on this thing. We gonna have to jump. Okay. So they jump. Of course they don't make it all the way down, but they go a far few levels down, but they don't make it all the way down. They just make it a few levels down, but it seems like they make it to a safe spot. Like, they're not all the way down, but they're in a place where people know who they are, and they seem to be in a good position. So they're struggling to get up. The people on the balcony are helping them, like trying to help them get up. And then the main raider at the top, he shoots the rope. That rope comes flying down, smacks Knox on the back. Bones. Okay, that's the sound effect. Right there on the back. You can, he just got whipped with that rope, so you can tell. Ooh. So they finally get on. The guy tried to drop the thing, but it missed him. But anyway, so then we cut to the barricade, and we see the up top knock that barricade down. So they, commotion. The mayor like, here we go. But then we see Martha slipping by, like, all right, this is my chance. Like, the barricade's down, it's commotion, nobody even see me. I'm just gonna slip right on by, which is good. We need that. We'll talk about that later. So then we cut back to the mayor. The mayor's like, okay, it's on the popping. So he reaches out to Sheriff Paul. He's like, look, now it's on you. You know what I mean? Now this is your duty, because it's about to come down to you. It's about to come down to the down deep. This is on you. So then we cut, as he's talking to Sheriff Paul. Sheriff Paul says, and I wrote it down here. He says, you can always count on me to be faithful, to faithfully serve the silo and the pad. And then in the background, it's blurred, but you can see, ironically, you can see Patrick, Francis, and Hank in the background. Remember, Patrick is, hurt, and then Francis is the niece, and we can see Hank is there, so they're helping him, with the bleeding situation. You can see him in the background. It's ironic because he's not lying. He said, you can always count on me to faithfully serve the silo and the pet. You got the deputy there, he's the silo, and then you got the people, and that's the pet. It's like he didn't lie, but he knows we're done. We're done with this lie. It's war. It's time for war. So that was their final connection. Him and Hank. That was their final, like, all right, we a team. It's time to do this. You know what I mean? So then we cut back to the last scene where we see Juliet. She's getting worse. Like she's really like getting worse. So she falls down to the bed. She unwraps that arm. That arm is not good. And remember, I said it on the first episode. If you go back to the first breakdown, I was like, this arm is going to be a problem later on because there's no. She didn't treat the arm. The arm got hurt. She just wrapped it up. That's it. But you know, she in that water. Who knows how bad that water is? The air is bad. It's a lot going on. And then you get this bad open wound. It's not open because it's covered, but this bad open wound that hasn't been treated. She's going to have a problem. And I'm like, she's going to have a problem. So we'll talk about what I think is going to happen, but I did mention this was going to be a problem, and here it is in episode 5. I think we'll get some clarity in episode 6. I'm sure. Okay, and then she having an issue, but she looks under bed. She finds a helmet. We're like, okay, finally, she gets a helmet. She passed out. End of the episode. Crazy. Okay, so let's get on into the predictions. I wrote them down because I'm like, it's a lot. Okay. So, number 1, I don't think Solo is bad. I think he is just broken. He's corrupt and he's confused. I don't think he's a bad guy. I think he's just surviving and been surviving alone for a very long time. I do think he's going to help her. I think he's going to get her some type of penicillin or something like that. I do think that's going to be the case for sure. I don't know if it'll happen in the next episode fully. I think he'll help her, but I don't know if she'll be fully recovered. But I do think by the end of the next episode, she'll be ready to leave. I think she'll be exiting out of that silo. But I don't think we're going to get any connection between her and them in the next episode. It'll probably be the following one that we get that. Knox and Shirley, I think they are in good hands. I think they're with their people. I think they're fine. And I think they'll probably get down eventually, but I think they got to take a little break because he just got hurt really bad. So I don't think they're going to just rush down. I think they're going to kind of go into a little bit more hiding, get treated. And when that's happening, I think Martha will get down to the down deep before them. Technically, they're further down than she is, but because of that incident, I think that's going to slow them down, and then she's going to go all the way down and be able to talk to the down deep and be like, look, we're in trouble, y'all. Like, this is what's going on. They did not kill the judge. Don't listen to that craziness. We got some stuff we got to get down on, okay? I think Carla is fine, but I'm just not quite sure. Like, will they erase her memories? Will they send her out to clean? Or will they just kind of keep her locked up again? But I think she's okay, but I don't know for how long. Okay? So I think Sheriff Paul and Deputy Hank are definitely fully, like, they know, okay, none of this stuff is real, and then they about to get the real answers. And when they get the real answers from Patrick, I think that's going to be their full turning point. I don't think they're going to fully reveal themselves yet that they know what's going on, like to Judge Robert Sims or to Mayor Bernard yet. I think they want to play it cool as long as they can with the type of power that they have, but eventually that's going to be all spilled out. Patrick, I don't think he's going to make it. I think he's going to die and probably get out the last bit of information he can before he dies. For sure. The tunnels as IT, this is what I think. Those tunnels got to connect to other silos. That's the only thing that makes sense. And do people know that? I don't think so. I don't think anybody knows what those tunnels do. I don't think anybody knows that. I think, you know what? Remember, I'm just now realizing this. Remember, Solo said that some of these silos are not far from each other. I think he knows that they connect. And I think those inner ones, especially, I'm not even talking about the down deep. I think those connect too. But remember, there's water, so there's no way she making it all the way down to the down deep. That's impossible. But IT and the judicial, one of those ones is the one she's near. I think it's the IT one that she's near. I bet she don't even need to go back out. She could probably just go through one of them tunnels, and I think she's going to find that out. Okay, or either that, because she's trying to get out that way. Maybe she'll still try that, or the judge will find out what those tunnels, the mayor will find out, and then he'll send people that way and get her out. So one or the other. Because remember, I'm putting together. Because remember, those bodies were fresh, so those bodies must have came through those tunnels. Oh, it's getting crazy. It's getting crazy. That who was his name? Quinn guy. What's his name? Patrick Quinn or what is whatever? Samander, whatever it was. Quinn. Salvador Quinn. I still don't know who he is. I don't know what his message is. Obviously he knows some answer. He knows something, but I don't know what that is. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. Really good episode. Like I said, I don't really know where we're about to go, but I am looking forward to the next episode. This episode caught me off guard because I actually forgot about it. So it was kind of like a pleasant surprise, but also like, oh gosh, now I got to edit it. I forgot that I was even working on this. But anyway, it was really, really, really good. I really enjoyed this episode. So I look forward to the next one with you guys. Okay? If you have not already, don't forget to like, subscribe, push that notification button because we're going to keep bringing this stuff to you. That's it.